Good evening and welcome to George Brendler Field here in Chazy, New York for this Northern Soccer League matchup. Division II rivals, the Chazy Eagles, they're in the green, and the Boquet Valley Griffins, they're in the white out there. Along with Calvin Castine on the camera, I'm Lee Barcombe, and we're going to bring you the action here in the final game of the regular season, I believe, for both squads. Sectional seeding meeting is tomorrow, October 15th, so that makes today October 14th, 2022. Here in northern New York, it's chilly out. I think my car said it was about 56 when I got here, and it's going to fall quickly as the sun is setting at this point in time. It's senior night here. Chazy celebrates their senior players. In halftime, they'll have a celebration, and we'll go over the Chazy seniors and even the Boquet Valley seniors throughout the course of the game. As the ball kicks off, and it's the senior captain for Boquet Valley. That's Abby Schwobel. Intercepting there is Brooke Stevens for Chazy. Stevens tries to touch the ball back. McAuliffe has it for Chazy now. McAuliffe to Stevens. Stevens outside to Amelia Smith. Smith touches the ball, taken away there by Sophie Fiegel, and now it's Schwobel using her support in Sydney Bissell. Bissell pushes the ball toward the outside, deflected away by Callie Castine, and it goes off the side for a throw-in right near midfield. Schwobel traps the throw-in, chipped back forward, blocked by the defender Castine for Chazy, and now it's Avery Parker. Parker chips the ball forward looking for Pender Bayshard, defended there by Grace Reynolds and then cleared away by Bettis. Throw-in on the far side. Bettis is there for the Griffins. She chips the ball toward the middle. Parker traps it down, but it was a long trap, and Sarah Gibson was there to cause some trouble. Now on the far side, Camden Mayo trying to control that ball. She's going to earn a throw-in as Audrey Langlois goes over for the throw for Chazy. Officials tonight in the middle of the field is Mr. Stahl. Far side is Mr. Bodette, and the near side is Mr. Varon. And we do work three officials as we near sectionals, as that's what they use in sectionals and state play across the state. So oftentimes there may not be enough officials up here in the North Country to put three on the field, but we do have that luxury here toward sectionals. And here's Ella Lobdell, the goalkeeper for the Griffins, picking up that through ball attempt as the ball was earmarked for Pender Bayshard, but Lobdell was there to pick that ball up, and now she punts it toward midfield. Ava Mcauliffe gets her foot on it, goes to Pender Bayshard. Bayshard moving the ball outside, looking for Smith. Smith battling there with Pulsifer, and Pulsifer clears it toward midfield. Sarah Gibson, nice square ball to Schwobel. Schwobel now chips it forward. Sam Gagne was there to clear it away for the Eagles. Gets past Bayshard, off the foot now of Grace Reynolds. Fiegel again toward the middle of the park. Onto the feet of Claire Reynolds. I apologize. Well, I should know the leading scorer of the team's name by now. The freshman, Claire Reynolds, has 19 goals on the season, and she's a force to be reckoned with out there as far as the Griffins go. McAuliffe tries to switch fields. Camden Mayo trying to balance the ball. Cleared off of her, and then once more cleared away by Pulsifer. Schwobel now has it. Trying to get past Avery Parker. Parker shoulders her away, and then Schwobel clears the ball off of Parker and out of play for a throw-in on the far side. As you folks watching NFHS can see, our scoreboard and time clock does not work on your screen, so we'll try our best to update you throughout the course of the game with how much time is remaining and what the score is. So right now, we have 36:45 to go in the first half, no score, as we just got things underway here. Chazy, the team in green, home team, they are your Northern Soccer League Division II champions this year. So they quite likely will secure the number one seed in sectionals. And Boquet Valley, my estimation, will likely be the number two seed in this sectional play. These two teams have met twice before this season. First meeting was the first game of the season for Chazy and for Boquet Valley as they played in the Jan Davis Memorial preseason tournament here at Chazy. It was a lightning-shortened game The game ended approximately 3/4 through the game. Chazy granted the winners by a score of 2-0. Lightning, of course, was the cause of the game to be stopped. So, and then they met later on in the middle of the season at Boquet Valley, and Chazy came away 2-0 winners in overtime. So, two very evenly matched teams, longtime rivals.
In overtime, sudden death now.
Sudden death overtime. That's right. First year for that in girls soccer. So that's new this year, where the girls soccer matches the boys soccer, and that they play sudden death. There's no longer you play a prescribed number of minutes and you can score as many goals as you want. That finally has gone by the wayside, and things are more equal and makes more sense all around as far as that goes. So
what was the score?
It was 2-1. 2-1. Yeah,
okay.
2-1. Did I say 2-0? I apologize. 2-1 in overtime.
I've never misspoke before, so I'm shocked when somebody does it.
Throwing on the far side and taking the ball away is Ava Mcauliffe, the number 2 leading scorer in Section 7 as far as active players. She has 75 career goals and 17 career assists, so she certainly is the straw that stirs the drink here at Chazy, if you will. Most dangerous player on the field in the green uniform. Brooke Stevens, square ball, chipped across by Langlois. It gets past Bayshard, and Lobdell is there to pick it up quickly for the Griffins.
Drop off.
The field is sloppy. It's in decent shape, but we did get a lot of rain yesterday, and so certainly expect the footing not to be great out there today. And Chazy is playing without 2 of their starters who are nursing injuries, and Coach Tregan made the decision, having already wrapped up the league title, that he wants to rest these 2 young ladies for sectionals. So they're playing a bit shorthanded, but rest is the word right now before sectionals. Lead ball for Gibson. Gagnon is there to clear it away for the Eagles. Sam Gagnon playing sweeper this year. She's your Swiss Army knife for Chazy. She could play goal, she could play defense, she could play offense, she could play midfield. This year, she is going to be, or she has been, the sweeper for the Eagles here, and done a fine job back there. She's a junior this year. Here's Pender Bayshard trying to get past her mark, and Sophie Pulsifer goes off the sideline, throw in for Chazy in front of the Griffin bench.
Put it down.
As senior captain George Belrose will take the throw in.
Good choice. Come on.
Belrose to Bayshard. Bayshard traps it down, looking for help, and then clearing it away is going to be Grace Reynolds. Ava Mcauliffe is there.
Let it go.
Looks for a shot toward goal, and a good shot today is going to be a low shot toward the ground, because that ball is going to skip and slide and be difficult for the keepers to handle. So more shots on goal, the better early on, and certainly low shots are preferred. Footing is also questionable with this field at this point in time. Throw in for Amelia Smith, one of the other seniors on this Chazy squad. Pender Bayshard goes off the end line. It's going to be a goal kick for the Griffins. 32.5 minutes remaining in the first half. No score here at George Brendler Field in Chazy, New York. You can see the corn in the background of Calvin's viewfinder there, and on your TV screen, Giroux's Poultry, large egg farm here in northern New York. That's one of their fields that they typically mow, and it won't be much longer before they'll be out there chopping that corn. And we always wonder how many soccer balls they find while doing that out there in the field. Conley moves the ball forward. Taking it away was Audrey Langlois, and chipping it back in was Sydney Bissell. Coming out to take possession is going to be Tess Blair, as she gets her hands on the ball for the first time today for Chazy, the junior goalkeeper.
Got to correct you here, Lee. They don't chop it; they pick it.
That's true. They take only the ears of corn, and yes, they don't take any of the roughage. The chickens don't care much about that, so they do take only the ears, and then they wind up taking the kernels off the ears, and they dry it and grind it, and that's your chicken feed. And all the acreage they have in the North Country, and it doesn't do for very long as far as feeding their last I knew 2+ million heads of chickens. As Chazy substitutions, and we got a couple more seniors, 3 more seniors coming on. Number 15, Dejanae Minto. 17 is Lily Marsden, and the number 1 is Sequoia Mcchesney. So 3 more seniors making their way on the field. There are 6 seniors on the Chazy squad this year, and there are 5 seniors on the Boquet Valley squad.
Full team.
Yeah, put them together, you got 11. No goalie, though. That's the only downside.
One of them.
Would have to step up, as we have juniors in the goal on both sides of the field. And Belrose clears that ball away from danger. Scarlett Bame has it now for the Griffins as Minto challenges her. Ball goes off the sideline for a throw-in. And it's Audrey Langlois to take the throw-in on the far side. She throws it in. Minto traps it down. Minto going toward the center of the park, cleared away by Bissell. Gagnon now for Chazy, and she chips it forward, looking for Marsden. Bame gets her head on it. Minto is there. She traps the ball down, but then cleared away by Jaden Bettis. Sarah Gibson uses her support. Ball bounces to Mcauliffe, though. Ava Mcauliffe tries to shot from a long ways out. It is blocked by Sydney Bissell. Georgia Belrose chips it forward. Blocked down by Grace Reynolds onto the feet of Abby Schwobel. Schwobel, the 7th leading active scorer in Section 7. And then Gagnon clears it away. Schwobel also an excellent basketball player for the Griffins. Far side, Jaden Bettis coming up the field. Pushes it forward. Claire Reynolds drops it back. That was Bissell. Still has it. Taken away now by Langlois. Goes to Mcauliffe. Ava Mcauliffe now being watched closely by Grace Reynolds. She tries to chip it over her. Minto comes over, traps it down. Dejanae Minto. Square ball to Sequoia Mcchesney. Mcchesney traps it, but there to take it away quickly was Sophie Fiegel, and now transition for the Griffins. Fiegel forward to Gibson. Gibson tries to go central to Reynolds. Cleared away there by Callie Castine. Langlois tries a back heel, taken away by Conley. Conley moves it outside to Claire Reynolds. Reynolds tries to get past her marks. Again, she's the leading scorer. She's taken down. Be a direct kick for the Griffins. 25 or so yards away from the goal. Schwobel will take the direct kick, as she does take a great majority for the Griffins. And as I mentioned earlier, footing may be an issue out here, as Blair is trying to find solid ground in the goal for the Eagles. A shot towards goal. It's low and it's bounding, and it's going to be toward near post, but out of bounds for a goal kick. 28 minutes remaining in the first half. No score between the Eagles of Chazy. They're wearing the green, and Boquet Valley Griffins are in the white and blue and gold. Boquet Valley came into existence in 2019. And two schools merged to become one. Elizabethtown Lewis Central School and the Westport Central School merged, and they became Boquet Valley. Elizabethtown Lewis and Westport, both longtime rivals of Chazy in the MVAC here in northern New York, Section 7. As Mcauliffe clears that off from Bissell, throw in Mcauliffe, goes to Marsden. Marsden traps it down, looking for help, taken away by Fiegel, and then Bissell tries to chip it forward, but it deflects off Bissell. Gibson battling hard with Belrose. Belrose with a nice save to keep the ball in as she chips it forward, looking for Marsden. Grace Reynolds is there to clear it away. Belrose is going to use her help in Gagnon. Gagnon fires it, but it goes off the sideline for a throw-in. So you may wonder where the Griffins come from as a logo. It's kind of a strange logo, but the Elizabethtown Lewis Central School were the Lions, and the Westport Eagles were the other team. So a lion and an eagle gives you a griffin. So a really clever mascot for the Boquet Valley squad. And their team colors are all intertwined as well, as Westport was navy blue rather, and then Elizabethtown Lewis was green and gold. So they took the gold from Elizabethtown Lewis and the blue from Westport, and there's your colors for the Boquet Valley. That's your history lesson for the day. If you're curious, the record, Chazy's record against Boquet Valley since their inception in 2019, Chazy has 6 wins. There's a great shot from distance, and Tess Blair gets her hand on that rocket from Abby Schwobel. Good save and a better shot, or a better save than a good shot, I guess, because the ball didn't go in the net, but it does yield a corner kick, as Schwobel will now go take this corner kick for the Griffins. So mentioning the record, Chazy has 6 wins to 3 losses against Boquet Valley since 2019. Good service. Getting the foot on it there was Ava Mcauliffe, but the ball was just wide of the net, and a goal kick for Chazy. So good pressure there from the Griffins. And as we mentioned, Abby Schwobel, center midfielder for these Griffins. She's dangerous. She has a very powerful shot. Real athletic young lady and a really good player.
Great ball, Sam.
Minto tries to get ahead on it, gets over her head, and then clearing it away was Bettis. Mcchesney gets her foot on it, taking it away with Schwobel. She tries to find Gibson and taken away by Belrose. Sarah Gibson now trying to get past Avery Parker. Parker is strong, and she's able to take the ball away. Sophie Fiegel tries to chip it in. Schwobel has it now. Schwobel. Belrose is there defending. Goes off Belrose, so throw in now for the Griffins.
Headline, Sarah.
Belrose got her foot on that throw. Now Gibson tries for a centering pass. Mcauliffe comes up with the loose ball, and she's running toward midfield. Mcauliffe with good wheels, taking the ball right at her defender. Now she's going to use her speed to get past Bettis. She stops and checks back. Shot towards goal. It's going to be wide, but a good idea from Ava Mcauliffe. Goal kick for the Griffins. 24 minutes remaining in the first half, and we have no score here in Chazy. We mentioned sectional seeding meeting is tomorrow. So we'll find out who the seeds are. Class D will be a challenge for seeding this year. Class D has teams from Northern Soccer League Division 2 and Division 3. Division 2 also has some Class C and B schools. Division 3 is all Class D. Parker pushes the ball forward, cleared away by Grace Reynolds. Now it's Schwobel with the ball. Chips the ball forward, looking for Claire Reynolds. Gagnon is there for Chazy, and she moves it to the sideline safely, and it's going to be a throw-in now. Claire Reynolds to take the throw. Looks it back to Schwobel. Schwobel's got a lot of space. She's going to take a shot toward goal. Challenging ball. Skipper handled nicely by Tess Blair. Blair has 4 shutouts on the season for the Eagles. She's given up 16 goals this year. Fiegel and Mcchesney battling, and it's going to be a throw-in for the Griffins. A couple substitutions waiting for Chazy to come in at the next opportunity. Pulsifer with the throw. Gibson traps it down. Fiegel chips it forward, but the ball did clear the sideline. It's going to be throw in for Chazy. A couple subs coming in. Caitlin Harvey and Pender Bayshard. And Lily Marsden comes off, and Dejanae Minto comes off. Belrose throws the ball in, trapped down by Bayshard. Bayshard chips it to Mcauliffe. Mcauliffe down the sideline. She has central, and there's the chip toward the center, looking for Langlois, but Lobdell comes off her line nicely to take possession of that ball. Ella Lobdell, tied for second in Section 7, leads Division 2 in shutouts with 6 this year. Tied with Hannah Gator of Mariah. Coming together out there was Gagnon, and I think that was Claire Reynolds. No call because it was an even play. Now it's Schwobel. Gets turned, looking to get past Callie Castine. Schwobel now going to corner with it. Little heel pass to Reynolds. Schwobel now gets the ball back. Being watched carefully by Harvey on the far side. Schwobel turns and chips the ball toward midfield. And coming off her line, Gibson's there. She puts her hands to her head as she had a great opportunity, but she wasn't able to trap and get the ball toward goal as Tess Blair was a little late getting off her line in that play. It's a good opportunity there for the Griffins, but were not able to capitalize.
When we can, serve that ball, shoot that ball. If it's right foot, it's right about there.
Gagnon to take the goal kick for the Eagles. Mcauliffe gets control of that. Mcauliffe trying to get past her mark. Does. Chips the ball outside of the foot to Pender Bayshard. Bayshard now being watched carefully and taken away nicely by the senior Scarlett Bame, and she pushes the ball just to midfield to be safe. Stevens has it, leaves it for Parker. Parker with a long touch, taken away by Fiegel. Gibson now has it. Gibson running. Stevens chasing as Gagnon steps up and traps the ball nicely from Gibson. Looks like we have a player that is not doing well out there, and that's number 14, Sydney Bissell. And Blair is out to take possession of this, and we should perhaps, and she's favoring her right foot. Gibson moved the ball toward midfield. Schwabel was there but cleared away by Brooke Stevens. Far side now, Emma Conley has it. Being watched by Harvey. Bounces the ball off Harvey. It's going to be a throw-in for Boquet Valley. And I think we were debating how to say Boquet or Boquet, and so I'm not sure. I do know it's not Boquet. So I've opted for Boquet. I think, if I remember right, that's how they said it. But Conley traps the ball down. Schwabel tries to save it, and you can see Schwabel's all over the field out there for the Griffins, making a big impact out there in the midfield at this point in the game. 19 minutes to go first half, no score. On senior night here at George Brendler Field for the Chazy seniors. There's 6 of them we mentioned, and we'll go through those ladies as time permits. Lead ball looking for Langlois. Now it's Mcauliffe. Looking to perhaps switch fields. She chips the ball forward, looking for Langlois, but Bettis was there to chip the ball away. Now it's Audrey Langlois again. She tries to cut it back. Good defensive work there on the far side by Conley. Reynolds tries to go central, blocked, and then cleared away by Stevens. As Lobdell calls for the ball and comes out to pick it up. As the geese are coming in now, this time of night. I hear the geese honking out there. Canada geese. Schwabel. Looking for Gibson. Belrose is running with her. Belrose comes away with the ball nicely for Georgia Belrose. She clears the ball toward midfield, but Schwabel's there. Schwabel uses her support in Fiegel. Fiegel looking for Gibson. A little bit heavy on the pass and cleared away by Gagnon. Far side, Bettis has it now. Bettis chips it past the sliding Mcauliffe onto the feet of Conley. Conley goes central to clear Reynolds. She chips it back quickly, looking for Conley down the sideline, but clearing it away was Sam Gagnon. Throw in for the Eagles, midway into Chazy territory. Throw in for the Griffins, midway into Chazy territory. Good looking crowd over there tonight. Claire Reynolds on the far side. Callie Castine watching her closely. Castine is a freshman. Ball's chipped toward the goal. Blair comes out, short hopped as we mentioned, and she took it to the face and was a champ and picked it up, and now she's walking toward the top of the 18 to distribute the ball back into play. Over Mcauliffe's head, and that was Bissell getting her head on it now. Reynolds lost it, cleared away. Fiegel chips it in to Schwabel. Schwabel again. Looks for a through ball, looking for Gibson, but Gagnon is there to come and make a nice defensive play as she moves the ball toward midfield. Pender Bayshard is there. She collides with Pulsifer and falls to the feet of Fiegel. Fiegel goes down the line. Belrose is there for Chazy, and she's going to escort it off the sideline for a throw-in for the Eagles. Handball was called, and it's going to be a direct kick now for Chazy as McAuliffe will come to take the direct kick.
Yeah, you don't even have to own it.
We know she did there.
Just got to keep her from getting it clear.
Avery, in this space.
Out of the air, here we go. Big hit here.
Make sure we just get it up, right?
Yeah, that's good right there, Sequoia. That's good.
And McAuliffe, again, the footing's not great. It looks like she slipped a little as she took that shot. Castine tries to trap it with her thigh. Falls to McAuliffe, who clears it toward midfield. Schwobel has it. She uses her wide player in Conley. Nice play. Conley chips it toward the middle, looking for Claire Reynolds, and cleared away by Gagnon. Pender Bayshard now has the ball in midfield. Bayshard, square ball to McAuliffe. A little bit long of a touch as Fiegel snuck in besides as she takes the ball away, goes off the sideline for a throw. McAuliffe throw in, looking for Langlois. Langlois traps it down, gets turned, tries to get past her mark in Fiegel, uses her support of McAuliffe. McAuliffe now forward to Bayshard. Bayshard, good trap to space, but Grace Reynolds was there. We have, that's an interesting call. We don't see that often, a call for obstruction. So this is an indirect kick. Indirect. That means that it cannot go straight direct into the goal. If it does, it just doesn't count. So it needs to touch another player before it goes into the goal. So not quite obviously as dangerous as a direct kick, and you don't see that very often. Here's your indirect kick by McAuliffe as she chips it toward the middle of the park. Gagnon gets a foot on it. Hard collision there with the goalkeeper. Gagnon's inside of the foot redirection went wide of the net.
I have to tell my Danielle Tierney story. She was a goalie for Northeastern, and somebody had an indirect kick, and they kicked the ball, and she stood there and watched it go in. And everybody's going crazy.
Yeah, the folks in the crowd maybe didn't know it was indirect or didn't understand indirect versus direct. But yeah, that can give you people some gray hairs for sure when you see that kind of thing happen. But pretty rare to see obstruction called. Back when I played, of course, that's 30 years ago now almost, and more. We used to hear it more often, but nowadays it's really not something that they call. So good to see that. And one of my favorite, or my biggest pet peeves, of course, is the illegal throw-in, which rarely gets called as well. But
I saw it called once a couple weeks ago.
and you thought of me.
Twice. But they picked her back foot up. It wasn't the body that we're so used to now.
Yes, and there's a lot of spin on the balls too. There's a good shot, good low shot by Sydney Bissell. Again, test the goalkeeper's hands on this slippery turf. 13 and a half minutes remaining, first half, no score, as shots are favoring the Griffins 3-0 at this point in time, as they've put a couple opportunities toward Tess Blair. No actual shots on goal for Chazy at this point in time. Here's Ava Mcauliffe weaving through some players. Shot towards goal. There's going to be her first shot, as that gave Lobdell some trouble, and she smartly parried it to the side. She gives up the corner kick, but it's better than giving up a goal. So good play by the junior goalkeeper for the Griffins, as Mcauliffe now goes to take this first corner kick for Chazy of the match. They have scored on corner kicks the last two games, so they seem to have figured something out there as far as set play goes on the corner kick. As Mcauliffe looks for the service. Falls to the feet of Caitlin Harvey, and she pulled it wide of the net. So goal kick for the Griffins. So we'll go through the senior players for Chazy. Number 1, Sequoia Mcchesney. She's played 2 years on the varsity squad. She has 1 assist and 1 point in her career. She's usually one of the first off the bench as a substitute here for Coach Tregan, and just a real nice young lady. Here's Mcauliffe. Good shot towards goal. It's going to be well wide. Sequoia Mcchesney, there's a common theme here with all of these young ladies. They're all quality citizens, and they're all good support for their team. They're none of them are superstars, but they're your just your strong supporting cast, if you will, here for the Eagles. Conley now with the ball on the far side. Tries to get past her defender and Harvey, and it goes off Harvey. Throw in. Claire Reynolds trying to get to it. Callie Castine Reynolds got called for a push as she kind of shoved a little bit to gain possession of that ball. So it's going to be a direct kick as Sam Gagnon will trot over to take the direct kick. Another senior today is number 13, Amelia Smith. Amelia Smith was in start the game. She's a outside midfielder for the Eagles. Again, nice young lady, good support for this squad, and certainly will be missed next year here on the squad. She's a 2-year player, played last year and this year for Chazy.
Sarah's going. Go get it, Sarah. Come on, Sarah.
That's Claire Reynolds moving the ball outside, looking for Sarah Gibson. As Gagnon was over there, and she bounced it off from Gibson. It should be throw in for Chazy. And the referee changed that. It's going to be a white throw, or a Griffins throw.
We want a service.
Schwabel has it. Schwabel. Nice little turn. Left-footed service. Top of the 18. Cleared away by McAuliffe. Here's a shot from Bissell. And she got a little bit of the outside of her foot on that. I saw twisting action on the ball as it was moving to the right. So, but great idea to rip that shot for Sydney Bissell, one of the seniors for the Griffins. She, first year she's back. She missed 2 years with some health issues. But a very good player for Boquet Valley, as she is one of the central midfielders here, along with Abby Schwabel. Pender Bayshard tries to trap it down. Now it's onto the feet of McAuliffe. McAuliffe trying to go past Grace Reynolds. Grace Reynolds, a senior for Boquet Valley, one of the defenders, central defenders for them. Chipped the ball forward, goes off of Bayshard onto the feet of Scarlett Bain, who cleared it away. Now it's Mcchesney battling hard with Fiegel. And Georgia Belrose moves the ball forward. Pender Bayshard decides for a square ball. Caitlin Harvey, shot toward goal from quite a ways out. Easy save there by Ella Lobdell. Ball placed in play off the head of Harvey. Midfield. That was Bissell. Had the ball taken away by Langlois. Now it is McAuliffe being watched closely by Bissell. McAuliffe draws it back. Still looking for some help, and she decides to just punch the ball forward. Grace Reynolds clears it away, and now it's Emma Connolly trying to control it on the far side. She moves it up the sideline for Grace Reynolds, or for I get screw this poor young lady's name up all day. That is Claire Reynolds. I assume Claire and Grace are sisters. I don't know that for fact, but I've been having trouble with those two today, and I'll get better, I promise. There's McAuliffe because it can't get much worse. Grace Reynolds clears it away. Now McAuliffe chips it forward onto the feet of Langlois. Langlois goes central to Bayshard. Pender Bayshard now with Mcchesney up the side. Mcchesney tries to trap it down. A little bit of a long trap and cleared away there by Bain. And Castine clears the ball away for Chazy as Conley's going to watch it. And she does save the ball, but it goes off the sideline for throw-in. Substitution for Chazy as the junior Cassidy Turek comes into play. And she's going to give Caitlin Harvey a break. And if I'm not mistaken, Cassidy's dad, John Turek, was a goalkeeper for Westport back when I played. And so there's a connection with Boquet Valley in kind of a weird way. So yeah, John Turek was a good goalie for Westport back in the would be the late 80s, very early 90s. And it's going to be throw-in for the Griffins on the far side. And that connection, of course, is Westport was one of the schools that merged with Elizabethtown to form this Boquet Valley squad. Schwabel now chips the ball forward. Nice ball, change of fields. But clearing it away is Gagnon out of trouble. Hustling after this was Pulsifer. And we have a substitution as Sophia Whalen comes in for the Griffins. And she's going to give Sarah Gibson a break. Pulsifer with the throw. Gets past Mcchesney. Goes off from Belrose. So throw deep into territory for the Griffins.
Serve when you can.
Conley with the throw. She switched sides of the field. So Conley is now on our left side, and Whalen went over to the right. And Harvey's going to come in and give McChesney a breather. It's going to be a goal kick for the Eagles.
New right mid here. 11, new right mid.
6 minutes remaining in the first half and no score. My
Shots whenever you can.
guess would have been at the beginning of this game a low-scoring affair, and thus far we've lived up to that.
Play it forward.
Pulsifer tries to trap it, goes off, and it's going to be a throw-in for Chazy right at midfield as Georgia Belrose will take this throw.
We know it's going to be up the line.
Ball bounces off a defender, and trying to save it was Harvey. It's going to be a throw-in for the Griffins right in front of their bench. It's a little sloppy there in front of the bench. A little bit of mud. One thing, the Chazy will likely have the first seed, as I said, in the girls' sectionals, so they'll have a home game
Keep going, Emma. Keep going. You're the striker.
or perhaps even a bye in the first round. And the boys will have the number 1 seed, so they'll have likely a bye in the first round. So they may only get one more game each on this field if they win. If they have byes, then they will. But if they have first quarterfinal or preliminary games, if they win, then they'll have 2 games on the field. And then this field can go to sleep for the year. There's no more sectional championship games on grass fields. They're all on turf fields now. That was a decision made by New York State a couple of years ago, and now they're even as far as state championships. Up until last year, the state championship Final Fours were played on some grass fields in Middletown, and they've had so much trouble with, of course, not being able to predict the weather ahead of time. And unplayable fields, and there's nothing worse than when you're one of the Final Four teams in the state, and you have to play on a field that's not suitable to play on, and that's happened. So this year, all Final Four games, boys and girls, are going to be on turf. So weather does not matter as long as there's no lightning or snow, heavy snow, which we've had snow before. My brother was in Final Four back in the late 90s. They were out in Batavia, New York, and they had gotten a foot of snow, and they had to shovel the field off, and they tried to play on snow-laden field. Again, something that doesn't have to happen anymore. So Mcauliffe standing over this direct kick for Chazy with 3 minutes and 20 seconds remaining. And she's looking for a little bit of motion top of the 18. Certainly would hope for a service at this instead of a shot. She didn't get good elevation on it. Blocked there by Claire Reynolds. And now Whalen on the far side goes shoulder to shoulder with Parker. Parker moves the ball forward. Bettis is there, and she just clears it away for safety. Throw in for Chazy. Quickly into play. Turek tried to trap it. Went off her foot and out of bounds. Throw in now for the Griffins. Langlois chips it forward. It's going to go off the end line for a goal kick.
Hey, we're playing great. Come on.
Another senior for the Chazy squad is number 15, Dejanae Minto. This is the first year for Dejanae. She transferred into our school, I want to say maybe 2 years ago here at Chazy. And first year varsity player, heart and soul kind of girl. Lots of energy and lots of support from Dejanae Minto in her first year on varsity. She did a nice job out there earlier in the first half, playing on a central forward position. We'll see if she gets a little bit more time out here on the field as time goes on today. Tougher as the game is tied, but not a lot to gain from this game except for momentum. You want to keep the winning attitude alive on both squads. I don't think a Chazy loss today certainly wouldn't affect their number 1 seeding in the sectionals. So here's Mcauliffe. Goes through the legs of Grace Reynolds and cleared away. And now Emma Howell comes on. She's a freshman. She just got called up from the JV squad last game. So this is my first time looking at Emma Howell out there. as she takes off Cassidy Turek. Pender Bayshard traps the clearing attempt, and she looks to serve. Bounces off the chest of Bettis. She tries to clear it. Now it's Parker launching the ball back in. It goes off Howell's foot. Reynolds is trying to clear it, and now Schwobel punches it away. Claire Reynolds on the far side. Claire Reynolds gets past Castine. Avery Parker's over there, and she takes the ball away nicely. Reynolds again. Hustling to come back to challenge that was Parker once more, and ball is punched back forward, cleared away by Georgia Belrose. Howell now has it at midfield. Howell chips the ball forward, looking for Mcauliffe. Getting a foot on it was Sophie Pulsifer. Now it's Pender Bayshard for Chazy. Bayshard out to Howell, off the back of her foot, and then cleared away by Sydney Bissell.
Get up, a lot of time here. If you want.
Sam Gagnon with 20 seconds remaining, chips the ball forward. Mcauliffe traps it down. Mcauliffe draws it back, gets turned, tries to get past Bissell, cuts it back nicely. 10 seconds. Mcauliffe just tries to launch it forward, goes off Bissell. That's going to do it for the first half here in Chazy, as the score is 0-0 at halftime between Chazy and Boquet Valley.
Okay, Lee is out doing something constructive, not quite sure. Started getting some stats. And we're going to look at the 6 seniors here for Chazy. And as Lee said, there's 5 from Boquet Valley. Brian Norcross is trying to direct it. And Jill Abdel is here from the Sun. She says, I'll tell you what to do here. I'll listen to your athletic director. John Tregan's going to pose with the seniors.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to George Brendler Field, where we are celebrating senior night for our varsity girls soccer players. Tonight we honor 6 varsity players as they continue to celebrate all of their individual and collective accomplishments over the last 13 years at CCRS. We want to congratulate all of these girls and their families.
Corey Thompson on the PA, and looks like Lee has returned. Is he ready? Yes. He is ready.
Very proud of all of you. And now let's meet our senior girls. Number 15, senior Dejanae Minto.
Number 15, Dejanae Minto, as she moves forward, and she's going to meet up with her family.
Is her father, Marlene Minto, along with her brother, Martino.
So her dad and her brother Martino is her brother, and real nice moment here for the Minto family, as 2 of the varsity boys players will also be an escort out there, and they hold the sign and congratulate as well. Pictures being taken all around. Dejanae Minto, as I mentioned, is first-year player here for the Eagles and does a nice job for the Eagles. Camden Mayo.
Joining Camden is her mother and stepfather, Shannon and Michael Feller. Her father, Darren Mayo, along with her brothers, Chance and Cole.
So Camden here with her family, and real nice young lady. Again, one of these are all support staff here on the Chazy squad. These players, and they're solid members of the community at a young age. So a nice opportunity for a photo here. Camden Mayo, number 21.
Our next senior, number 17, Lily Marsden.
Number 17, Lily Marsden.
Joining Lily are her parents, Jeff and Janine Marsden, along with her grandparents, Chris Cote, Liz Cote, and Beverly Marsden, and her sister, Izzy.
So Lily's family here as well, and as they walk out for photo opportunity, nice round of applause from her teammates and the fans. Nice nice. It's really just a nice thing when they do this acknowledgement here at Chazy. It's something that started quite a few years ago, and something that's really taken hold. The boys have a night and the girls have a night. This year, they both happen to be against Boquet Valley, and it doesn't always work out that way. But Number 13, Amelia Smith. We talked about her a little bit earlier this evening.
Joining Amelia is her mother, Carol Smith, along with her sister, Emma.
And Amelia with her mom and her sister. Her sister, Emma Smith, was a player here at Chazy as well. Big hugs from both mom and big sis. Photos taken on the far side.
Oh, sorry, Brian. I'm sorry, Brian.
Our next senior, number 1, Sequoia Mcchesney.
Sequoia Mcchesney, number 1. We've seen her out there quite a bit tonight.
Joining Sequoia are her parents, George and Brendler Field, along with her grandparents, Bill and Christina Hampton.
And her parents come out to congratulate her. Sequoia is a 2-year player, has an assist in her career, and I can remember that assist. She was so happy when she registered that assist out there, as were her teammates. And final one.
Number 3, senior captain, Georgia Belrose.
Number 3, Georgia Belrose. She's one of the captains this year.
Her mother and stepfather, Amanda and Michael Knight. Her father, Daniel Belrose, along with her brother and sister-in-law, Tyler and Morgan.
And Georgia's had a really excellent season for the Eagles. She's been an anchor on the right side defense. It's her second year. She has a goal and an assist in her career. She scored her first goal, this season earlier. A seeing eye shot from the top of the 18, hard low shot to the side panel, and again, to see her celebrate was something. She did a leaping fist pump in the sky. She was so happy to be an offensive contributor to the team, and certainly has been a great defensive contributor these last 2 seasons to this Chazy squad. So congratulations to all the Chazy seniors out there. The 6 of them, they've done a fabulous job this year, and we wish them the best of luck for going forward in sectionals and in the state play, and in their life in general after soccer, which, in Chazy sometimes you forget that there's life after soccer. And we're back here for second half action at George Brendler Field in Chazy in this Northern Soccer League Division II senior night matchup between Chazy in the green and Boquet Valley in the white. No score. Exciting first half, back and forth play. Boquet Valley comes ahead with the edge in shots, 3-2 over Chazy. Neither team had outstanding scoring opportunities. Goalkeepers were tested a little bit. One nice save by Lobdell that I can remember, and there's Gagno slipping on this turf. It's a little bit slick out there and a little bit sloppy from a lot of rain we got last night, overnight, and early this morning.
And the dew is falling.
And the dew is falling. We're down, I would estimate, in the upper 40s. I do see some breath out there once in a while, so that would indicate that maybe even colder than that. But yeah, so the dew is falling and the grass is already wet, and no standing water on the field itself. There is some on the sidelines.
More middle. Good.
But again, no score, so good back and forth matchup here. Long throw in on the far side as Mcchesney is there battling for Chazy and falls to the feet of Mcauliffe. Mcauliffe now, a little fancy ball to Brooks Stevens, who moves it forward to Bayshard. Bayshard continues it on to Harvey. Coming over for defending is Bettis. Harvey gets past her. Harvey now tries to go with an outside of the foot cross. She didn't get a good piece of it, and Ella Lobdell was able to come out and pick that up for the Griffins as she runs to the opposite side of the 18 to distribute. Off the head of Mcauliffe. Gets past Mcchesney. Belrose was there to clear it away. Now it's Pender Bayshard taken away there by Sydney Bissell. Goes over to Claire Reynolds. Claire Reynolds tries to go sideline, to Conley, and then cleared away by Gagnon. Bettis traps it down. Bissell moves it outside to Reynolds. Reynolds being watched by Harvey. Reynolds goes forward to Schwobel. Schwobel now gets turned and chips it forward, looking for Conley. Good ball down the sideline. Gagno's there for Chazy, and it winds up going off of Gagnon, so it's going to be a throw-in for Boquet Valley. Smart play there by Emma Conley. Schwobel has it. She gets step over, looks for a turn, chips it, deflected off a Chazy player. Should be a corner kick, and yes, the official is pointing to the corner, as Schwobel will now take this corner kick for the Griffins. This will be their second corner kick of the match. Chazy has players on both posts, man-to-man marking otherwise. And Schwobel wasn't able to keep the ball in play, so it's going to be a goal kick for the Eagles. Gagnon to take this goal kick. A couple players out there for Chazy not playing in the normal positions, and you can see there's a little bit of anxiety about that as they're unsure what to do in certain moments of time. But it's a learning experience. They're young players. They'll adapt well. You just listen to your coaches, and things will fall into place.
Don't let her turn. You let her turn on that one. All that stuff comes off of it. Come on. Go up, Pender.
The ball bounces to Bettis. She traps it down. Pender Bayshard deflects that away. Bayshard now hustling to get possession. Good left-footed trap and service to Langlois, who traps it down. Audrey Langlois being watched by Grace Arnold. She uses her support in Mcauliffe. Mcauliffe now trying to look for a shot towards goal. Goes off the side of her foot. Going to go off the end line for a goal kick. So she's favoring trying to take that long shot, that 35, 40-yard shot. I think the idea is that they're hoping to test Lobdell, who's a very good goalkeeper. But you never know what's going to happen out there with the ball and the weather and the conditions of the field. Reynolds did a nice play there. Harvey pitched it across the field. Now moving it forward was Fiegel. Claire Reynolds cuts it back, trying to get past Callie Castine. Castine doing a nice job. Freshman versus freshman there. Schwobel, good stick by Avery Parker as she takes the ball away from the senior captain of Boquet Valley. Grace Reynolds now has the ball taken away by Audrey Langlois. Langlois just chips the ball forward, trying to get it past the defender, Scarlett Beam. She does a nice job keeping Mcauliffe from getting that ball. Now it's transition for Boquet Valley as Schwobel gets past her, and she moves the ball forward looking for Gibson on the far side. Smart play by Gagnon to take the pressure off and clear the ball out of play. So throw in for the Griffins midway into Chazy territory. Just under 35 minutes to go in regulation and no score. Service from the far side. Claire Reynolds got her outside of her foot on that. That was a nice looking little attempt there. Good work by Callie Castine to not give her space. And Tess Blair was able to take that cheeky shot into possession. Mcauliffe traps it down nicely, and now she's looking for moves. She does a little dance over spin, loses possession, and then is cleared away. Sometimes less is more. Now Gibson's out there trying to get past Belrose. Gibson has a step on her. Gagnon comes over. They collide hard, and Belrose is able to clear it away, but Sam Gagnon is tough. She's not going to stay down unless she's really hurt. And Tess Blair takes possession of that long, I don't necessarily know it was a shot toward goal, but
And Sam's mother, Sarah, was such a wimp out there.
I don't know. I guess she comes by it honestly. Mcauliffe doing a step over. Slip sliding out there with Schwobel as she's trying to stop it. And then Bissell intercepts and clears the ball toward top of the 18. Gagnon's going to clear it away. Now it's Schwobel. Trap and a one-time shot toward goal. Gagnon clears it away with her head. There's Conley trying for a shot. Now it's Schwobel, top of the 18, looking to free herself. On to Reynolds. Reynolds chips the ball toward goal, but it's well wide. Good defensive presence there by Sam Gagnon.
And Just so Sarah knows, I was joking.
Yes, Sarah, one of the all-time greats in ladies soccer here at Chazy. Back in the days of Judy Bayshard as being her head coach. First team to go to the Final Four, I believe, either boys or girls back there in the 80s. Sarah Gagnon was on that team. So that's a little more trivia for you this evening. And Tess Blair calls for that and comes out and takes it. Long punt toward midfield. Bissell gets a foot on it. Now it's Claire Reynolds. She uses her support in Bissell. Bissell punches it forward now, looking to the outside for Emma Conley. Conley's hustling. She's going to save it. She keeps it in. Chazy's slow to get there. Conley serves it, but Blair is going to take possession on it. She actually went out of play, so it's going to be a goal kick. We'll mention the Boquet Valley seniors. Since it is senior night here for Chazy, we'll include these fine young ladies. Scarlett Bame, who does an outstanding job as a sweeper for the Griffins, is a senior, number 6. And Jaden Bettis, she's on the the right outside fullback. Those two young ladies are very strong defensive players for the Griffins. There's a good service as Gibson tries to control it, but it's cleared away by a back checking, if you will, Brooke Stevens. Grace Reynolds with a long shot toward goal. This could be dangerous. Spin on that ball, and Tess Blair plays it nicely with pressure from Claire Reynolds. Sophie Pulsifer is a senior. She's one of the outside midfielders, number 11 out there. I actually worked with her mom back at Kinney Drugs a long time ago. So nice family. Sydney Bissell, we've highlighted her a little bit earlier. Senior midfielder for these Griffins as a substitution as Cassidy Turek comes on, and coming off is going to be Audrey Langlois. And the last senior on the Boquet Valley squad is Grace Reynolds. She plays the central fullback position here for the Griffins, and she does a fine job back there. In light of me messing up her name, here's McAuliffe coming down the left side, trying to get past Bettis. Goes central with it blocked there by Reynolds nicely. McAuliffe hustling, and Scarlett Bain clears that away. It's going to be a throw-in for the Eagles deep in the Griffin territory. Check that. It's going to be a Griffin throw-in as it last apparently went off McAuliffe. So Bettis throws it in off the head of Conley. Stevens tries to save it. Now it's to Brooke Stevens. She chips the shot toward goal. Dangerous, a little chip and a skip, but nice save there by Ella Lobdell. Stevens traps it down, taken away by Schwobel as she launches the ball forward. Gagnon is there, and she's going to clear it back toward midfield. Bettis tries to trap it down, goes to Schwobel. Schwobel going to space. Harvey's watching her. Schwobel cuts it back. Chips it, but it goes off from Stevens. It's going to be a throw-in for the Griffins. Conley getting the ball in quickly. Claire Reynolds uses her support. Emma Conley, little ball to Schwobel, back to Reynolds, and then taking it away ultimately is going to be Kelly Castine, clears it away. Bettis chips it back. Coming onto it with Stevens. Now it's Bayshard. She tries to go central to Cassidy Turek, but cleared away there nicely by number 11, Pulsifer. Turek and Pulsifer shoving over there a little bit. Turek comes away with it, and now it's Sophie Fiegel, and she and Turek collide, and throw in for the Griffins as Mr. Stahl put his whistle to his lips but decided it was not a foul. Avery Parker's there for Chazy, being pressured by Sarah Gibson. Parker tries to clear it up the line, goes off from Fiegel, and it's going to be a throw-in as Audrey Langlois will check back in for Chazy. 28 and a half minutes remaining in regulation. No score. And Sequoia Mcchesney will come off for the Eagles. New York State Sports Writers rankings for what they're worth, but we like to look at those. Class D in the latest Sports Writers ranking poll, Chazy is ranked 10th in Class D in the state, and Boquet Valley is ranked 18th in the state. So those are the only two Section 7 representatives in Class D. And as we mentioned at the beginning of the game, likely the number 1 and number 2 seeds in the sectionals here in Section 7 for Class D girls. So this is the third meeting of the season. They certainly may meet a fourth time. So far, Chazy has 2 victories in the previous 2 meetings, and this one's going to go down to the wire, I got a feeling. The last one did as well, as Chazy won in overtime.
Hey, that's perfect.
And the first matchup, as we mentioned at the beginning of the game, Chazy was the very first game of the season for both these teams, preseason, I should say. And Chazy came away 2-0 winners in a lightning-shortened game here at the Jan Davis Memorial Tournament on this very field back in September. Langlois has the ball, drops it to McAuliffe. McAuliffe dancing a bit, looks to chip it forward, blocked by Schwobel. Now it's Turek battling over there with Pulsifer. Goes off Pulsifer, throw in for Chazy. Langlois to take this throw. And clearing it away was Pulsifer again. Chazy makes up a little territory out there. Brooks Stevens tries to serve it. Stevens again, left-footed shot towards goal. Goes through the hands of Lobdell, but she keeps it in front of her. And you can tell Chazy, one of the players they're missing out there is Lexi Clark. She's one of the central midfielders, and she's very much a stabilizing force out there. So they definitely miss her. She's nursing an injury prior to sectionals here. So as I said, players have been swapped in positions a little bit, so that causes a little bit of commotion and anxiety, but as I said, learning experience for all these young ladies, and they're going to adapt well as Bettis clears it off with the footsteps of McAuliffe in her rearview mirror. McAuliffe chips the ball past Bettis. Now she's down the line. Service toward the middle. Ball tops the 18. Cassidy Turek is trying to get there, but Scarlett Bain does a nice job defensively and clears to midfield. Transition now as Gibson, if she could control that would have been a nice transition opportunity. She just couldn't get a handle on control of that ball, and Chazy was able to recover. Good opportunity there for the Griffins that they weren't able to take advantage of. Throw in on the far side. Hard to see the numbers over there right now, but it looks like Mcchesney is over there perhaps. And Pender Bayshard, that's who her last two were. And it's even harder for Calvin does a good job zooming in, but NFHS does not zoom at all, so you're stuck with me being able to tell you who's over there. And I could just lie to you, but I won't. Clearing it away there was Bettis. Shot towards goal from McAuliffe, but it was blocked. Good work there by Harvey as she gets away with getting past Bettis, but Bain is there to clear it out of harm's way in front of the Chazy bench. Callie Castine looks like she's going to take this throw quickly for the Eagles. Harvey tries to trap it down, falls ultimately to McAuliffe. She tries a shot again from a long ways away. Low percentage on those. With 24 minutes remaining in regulation, no score. As Lobdell does a smart move and goes to the weak side to do her punt. And now it's Gibson trying to get past Belrose. Belrose slides, she misses, but the ball goes out of play. So it is going to be a throw-in for Chazy. But that was a good chance for Gibson. She has a lot of speed. She got past the sliding Belrose, but the ball went off the side. Now it's Brooks Stevens. Pressure from behind there from Claire Reynolds. Now it's Harvey trying to switch fields. Trapping it down on the far side was Langlois. Now it's Pender Bayshard. Back to Langlois. Langlois chips it forward. She was looking for Turek, but it was cleared away. And missing that ball was Belrose. Parker now has it. She just gives it away to Schwobel. Long ball forward from Bissell. Gagnon is there for Chazy. She chips it past Gibson, and now Gagnon clears it out of the way. And go off the sideline for a throw-in for Chazy. Langlois to take the throw. Forward to Bayshard. Bayshard being watched there by Fiegel. She tries to go forward. That was another obstruction opportunity there. The official did not call it a second time. The ball deflects off Schwobel. It's going to be a throw-in for the Eagles midway into territory as they're starting to turn the pressure up a little bit, looking to put the first ball in the net this evening. Sarah Gibson now has it on the far side. Could not save it. Throw-in for Chazy.
Sarah and Claire, come back. Come back.
Bayshard traps it down, tries to serve, bounces off Boquet Valley players, quickly in. Turek now has it, looking to go gain service. Turek bounces it off a Griffins player. Again, throw in deep in Boquet Valley territory. Stevens comes and checks for the ball. Stevens gives it back to Bayshard. Bayshard back to Stevens now. Stevens looking to get turned. She serves toward the middle. McAuliffe trying to get onto it. Coming out nicely was Lobdell to make a big save. One of the better opportunities for Chazy there, as McAuliffe, who's always dangerous, tried to get on the end of that service from Brooke Stevens. Conley unable to save that, and we have a substitution waiting to come in. Not quite yet, though, as Callie Castine will take the throw in for Chazy here, right in front of the Griffin bench. Conley traps it down, gives it to Schwobel. Schwobel forward for Reynolds, but it was too much on that pass. Reynolds couldn't control it, so it's going to be a throw in for Chazy. 21-20 remaining in regulation, no score. Stevens tries to move the ball forward. Bettis is there. She bounces it off Bayshard, so smartly done there by Jade Bettis. And substitution as Sophia Whalen checks in. She's going to take Sophie Fiegel off.
If it goes to her, you don't let her turn. Caitlin, no turn, right? No turn. Brooke, give a step, but no turn. She gets it.
Jaden Bettis to take the throw.
Good.
Bayshard traps it down. McAuliffe now has it. She gets turned, goes central, being watched carefully by Bissell. Coming over now to help is Grace Reynolds. McAuliffe still has it. Looking to continue the ball forward for Langlois. Audrey Langlois on the far side now. Trying to get past her mark and Pulsifer, and Pulsifer deflects it off the side. Throw in for Chazy on the far side. Turek drops it back. Langlois bounces it off her defender, so throw in again for Chazy. Audrey Langlois back to Brooke Stevens. Stevens now looking to serve, but the good defensive block there by Abby Schwobel. Belrose chips it forward as Lobdell calls off Bame and takes possession. McAuliffe hands to her head. Had she continued her run, she might have got there.
Cassidy, don't play it back there. Try to get a corner out of that.
Reynolds traps it back. Whalen, or excuse me, Emma Conley, I beg your pardon. Now it's Claire Reynolds being watched carefully by Callie Castine. Central to Schwobel, and there was a foul there as Cassidy Turek got called for a push. So direct kick just inside Chazy's half of the field as Schwobel to take the direct kick with 19 and a half minutes remaining. We know Schwobel has a great serve.
In this space in case they play short.
And they're looking at Sarah Gibson, I think, number 10, far side. There it is. Good looking service. And it goes off the head of Georgia Belrose, but that's exactly where they were going with Sarah Gibson. And Whalen tried to serve that, but it went off the end line for a goal kick. Shots are 4-3 in favor of Chazy. Each team has had 2 corner kicks. You say it's a pretty evenly matched game. I can't imagine a much closer game, really. Back and forth play. Real good, solid game. Not overly physical, respectful for both teams, so that nobody's going to get hurt before sectionals. But still playing real hard out there. Here's a great opportunity off that goal kick, but good work by Avery Parker there to stop the attempt by Sarah Gibson. Now Chazy transitioning. Central ball looking for Turek, but it was cleared away there by the defense of the Griffins. Now Brooke Stevens chips it towards goal. Again, short hopper goes off of Ella Lobdell and gives up a corner kick as Coach Tregan's calling everybody to go in except for Callie Castine, who's standing at midfield. So McAuliffe here to take this third corner kick for the Eagles of the match.
This way. Towards me. Yep, to your left. To your left. There you go. That's good.
McAuliffe didn't get good height on it. Brooke Stevens directs it towards goal. Bounced off a Boquet flare. So again, another corner kick for the Eagles. And McAuliffe's going to try to get a little bit more rise on this one. As the crowd starts in. Wave. Good ball. Punched away there by Lobdell. It falls to Bissell, and she clears it toward midfield. Castine now tries to chip it back in. Couldn't get a good foot on it as the ball's bouncing out there. Now Gagnon tries to get past Whalen. She does a good job blocking that. And Sarah Gibson going up the left side, trying to get past Belrose. She does. Coming over to help is Parker. She gets in the way. Parker does a good job defensively and takes the ball away. Good work by the freshman Central fullback. Here's a shot from Schwabel, but it's going to be wide on the near side. Substitution coming back in is going to be Sophie Fiegel, and she's going to give Emma Whalen a break. Or Sophia Whalen, excuse me. She did a nice job as a substitute out there. Really, I think she may be the only substitute we've seen out there today for Coach Paul Bueller's squad.
Avery, just play safe on that. Just kick it into the stands.
There's Coach John Tregan's used several substitutions, of course, trying to work all of his seniors in out there today and dealing with the two starters who are injured. So lots of adjustment on the Chazy side. Turek, who actually is the backup goalkeeper for Chazy, traps that ball in midfield and then cleared away by Fiegel. Blair calls for it, and she comes out to get it with pressure on her from Sarah Gibson. Good work by Tess Blair. Just under 16 minutes to go. And as Calvin and I mentioned earlier, if the game is tied at the end of regulation, we go to a sudden death overtime this year. In the girls' soccer, New York State has finally made the determination at the motion was made by Plattsburgh High School girls coach Tim Mulligan, Section 7 coordinator. There's going to be a corner kick for the Griffins. So Tim Mulligan made the motion to change the overtime rules, and it was unanimously passed by all the section coordinators. So thank goodness we're on even grounds as far as overtime rules go across boys and girls soccer here in New York State. As Schwabel has to go retrieve the ball and now trot all the way to the sideline to make this corner kick. Interesting, they've got 4 Griffin players behind all the Chazy players. There's 3 lined up outside the 18, quite a ways outside the 18. Here's Schwabel with a good-looking service, long ball, gets past Claire Reynolds. Fiegel tries to serve it in and then cleared away by Belrose. And Gagnon clears it again. Falls to Bettis. Bettis, left-footed chip forward. Castine gets in the way with it, and she clears it toward midfield. Pender Bayshard does the smart move and moves it to space toward the sideline. Being watched there by Sydney Bissell. Bayshard goes central with it, all the way back, and clearing it forward to Scarlett Bame. Avery Parker traps it down. Parker was looking toward Langlois, but it was out of her way. Parker's tough, takes the ball off the face and clears it toward midfield. She's also an excellent hockey player, Avery Parker.
Keep going.
Ava Mcauliffe now trying to get past Grace Reynolds, and Reynolds goes down, earns the foul. Direct kick for the Griffins.
Thunder, stay central.
13:40 to go in regulation as McAuliffe is asking the official to explain. He's made his point, and that's enough. And now direct kick. Schwabel takes a direct kick. Doesn't get a lot of air underneath it. Callie Castine gets her foot on it, clears it, but it falls to Conley. Emma Conley gets past Harvey. Conley now leaves it for Claire Reynolds. Reynolds bounces it off Harvey. It's going to be a throw-in as Harvey looks to have taken that right in the kidney area, and she's struggling a bit. Referee asks her if she's okay. She shakes her head yes. Schwobel
No left. Double Pender.
outside. Conley chips the ball forward. Gets past Gagnon. Coming off her mark is Blair. She gets a hand on it, clearing it away there. At the end was unsure. I can't see who it was, but it was not Belrose. It was midfielder. That may have been Audrey Langlois with the big defensive play there for the Eagles. Boehm now has it. Pressure from Bayshard, and Boehm decides to clear it off as Mcchesney comes in. She's going to give Turek a break. And Turek comes off. Sequoia Mcchesney in. Throw in Callie Castine to take the throw. Deflects off Conley to the feet of Pender Bayshard. She goes central but cleared away by Bissell. Gagnon now for Chazy, the sweeper. Clears left-footed toward midfield. Goes off the shoulder of Mcauliffe, and Mcauliffe had her hands on her. Good call by the defender, or by the official rather, as Mcauliffe did have her hands on the defender. She doesn't like the call, and she's got to be careful with that. She might get a card. Time wasting. Schwobel, as Harvey intercepts that attempt at a service. Now Mcauliffe trying to get past Schwobel. Tries to cut it back. She does. Mcauliffe now with a very long shot toward goal, well wide. Goal kick for the Griffins. 11:40 remaining in regulation. Still no score. Chazy content to take very long shots on goal today. We did see Lobdell mishandle one ball. Maybe that's in their mind. But Mcauliffe gets her head on it. Traps it down nicely.
No shot.
Mcauliffe, again, looks for a shot toward goal, but it's going to be wide of the net and easily taken in by Ella Lobdell. She trots to the top of the 18, likes to go weak side, punts it, but it falls to the feet of Mcauliffe. She wasn't able to trap it well. Bettis was there, and then that was Brooke Stevens blocking the Abby Schwobel attempt at clearance. Stepping up is Georgia Belrose defensively nicely. Sydney Bissell's there, and she clears the ball back away for the Griffins. Now we have the speed of Sarah Gibson and Sam Gagnon. Gibson wound up tripping her. I was a little bit concerned about a collision coming there because that was two young ladies going at top speed for each other. Thankfully, they didn't collide. Gagnon took the worst of it in a trip. Direct kick for Chazy. Bissell tries to trap it down. Again, the ball is slick out there, so it's difficult to maintain possession. Moving forward, Grace Reynolds traps it away. Throw in for Chazy. Sequoia Mcchesney controls that. Goes central with it. Bayshard couldn't get a hold of it and cleared away by Grace Reynolds. Sarah Gibson with Avery Parker checking back. Georgia Belrose there, double team. Moving to the middle now it's Claire Reynolds trying to get past her mark and Castine. Shot towards goal. Good block there by Callie Castine. Castine now with no help. She's going to clear it up the sideline smartly. Bettis chips it back in as the defense of Chazy is yelling for them to pull forward. Mcchesney traps it down. Runs into Reynolds. Mcchesney now moves it outside for Langlois. Langlois chips it forward. Nobody there except Scarlett Boehm, who clears it away for the Griffins. Off the head of Mcchesney. Now Belrose. Handball as the ball missed her trap and bounced up to her arm. She's claiming it didn't hit her arm, but the officials saw it. 9 minutes remaining in regulation as the pressure mounts here at George Brendler Field. Scoreless game between Boquet Valley and Chazy. Good ball toward goal. That was not Schwobel that took that. That was Bissell. Schwobel was in looking for the service. Here's Conley. Conley looking for a shot. Shot towards goal as Tess Blair comes out and makes a diving stop for the Eagles.
You gotta head it there. Come on.
Blair looking for good footing out there to distribute the ball back out. McAuliffe, good skip header forward, looking for Mcchesney, but cleared away by Pulsifer. Harvey gets to it for Chazy, goes central. McAuliffe traps it down. She keeps it moving toward Langlois. Pulsifer steps up and takes it away. McAuliffe again now does a nice fake, tries to gain control and get turned. Good work by Sophie Pulsifer on her back. Coming over to help now is Sarah Gibson. She takes the ball away from McAuliffe. McAuliffe now, Gibson now gets past Gagnon. Central, oh, good ball, good idea rather. And Claire Reynolds runs into Tess Blair, who came out, and Reynolds is making sure she's okay. Blair's not really addressing her. She's fine as they collided. Now the official's coming out to check and make sure. I don't know if their heads collided or what exactly transpired, but good work by everybody to make sure that Tess Blair was okay. So another foul on McAuliffe as the emotions are getting the best of her at this moment in time. That's the third or fourth straight foul, and the official eventually will pull a yellow card out if she's playing out of control. Here's Bissell. So you notice Schwabel's not taking this. Sydney Bissell is. Schwabel's top of the 18. She's got a lot of height out there and good skill as the ball gets past Gagnon, but a nice one-handed save there to save the ball from going out of play and potentially giving up a corner kick by Tess Blair. Under 7 minutes to go in regulation. Very exciting game here at George Brendler Field. Sophie Fiegel battling over there with Audrey Langlois, and clearing it away was Pulsifer. Now it's Belrose battling. Getting past her was Gibson. McAuliffe is back to help, and Avery Parker clears it away. Off of Bissell, falls to Schwabel. She decides to switch fields. Claire Reynolds traps it down. She gets past Castine and Parker. Now it's Reynolds trying to get past Gagnon. Sliding stick. Referee calls a foul for a trip. Direct kick just outside the 18. This is going to be Abby Schwabel, guaranteed. 6 minutes and 9 seconds remaining. Direct kick here. Chazy tries to put together a wall. They've got a 6, 7, 8-person wall. Schwabel, shot towards goal is going to be high. Bit out there. And that would be very bad if Sam Gagnon pulls up lane, because she is your defensive stalwart out there for the Eagles. She looks to be running okay as she goes after that ball. The far side is Conley battling hard there with Georgia Belrose. Belrose gets turns and cleared it off the sideline. Throw in for the Griffins. Conley. Belrose does a nice job to step in front of that, and then clearing it away for Chazy was Langlois. Grace Reynolds punches it back in. Claire Reynolds now being watched by Parker. Reynolds tries to switch fields for Whalen. Whalen traps it down. Good work by Callie Castine to stop that, and now Castine running toward midfield with the ball. Castine clears it away toward the Chazy bench, so throw in for the Griffins right in front of Chazy bench with 4 minutes and 20 seconds remaining. Still no score. Harvey tries to trap it. Stevens clears it away. Throw in again for the Griffins. So we're below 5 minutes. There is no leader, so the teams can substitute at will. Nobody's leading. The clock will not stop on substitutions with under 5 minutes to go. That's an illegal throw. The official gets it. The issue was the player did not go all the way behind her head with the ball. Harvey throws it in quickly for Pender Bayshard. She gets a knee on it, but it's should be a Boquet throw, and referee calls it for Chazy. Tregan's calling for his players to move forward. Harvey with the throw. Bayshard tries to get past Whalen, and then clearing it away was Bame. Whalen again now, moving it forward, all the way back to Avery Parker. Parker looking to switch the field a bit. Ball bounces through Audrey Langlois, but Scarlett Bame is there, and she's able to take away the danger. Belrose kicks it back in. Lots of white shirts back, not many green, as it's cleared away by Sydney Bissell toward midfield. Throw in for Chazy. 3 minutes to go. No score. The push is on for the win. Parker chips the ball forward. Good work by Bettis to get a foot on it. Bissell tries to clear it wildly. Brooke Stevens gets there. Now it's cleared away by Pulsifer. Far side is Georgia Belrose. Emma Conley's on her back. Belrose uses her support in Gagno as she launches the ball forward over the head of Turek. Now it's Pulsifer leaving it for Reynolds. Reynolds bounces it off of Turek. And Boehm comes over nicely, takes the ball away. Fiegel tries to clear it. Langlois is there. Belrose steps up, bounces it off the Boquet player. They're going to call a Boquet throw. I'm going to move him back some. Tried to gain a little bit of real estate there. 2 minutes to go. As Sarah Gibson waits to come back on. Now Sarah Gibson will come on. And she's a speedster for the Griffins, so they gave her a quick breather to catch her breath, get a drink, and now she's going to go all out here for the last couple minutes. Parker is there for Chazy, and she kicks a high ball toward midfield, goes off of Schwobel to Turek. Turek traps it towards center. Pender Bayshard was hustling, couldn't get to it. Clearing it away was Bissell. Castine now clears it away as Bissell is down, holding her hip area. Perhaps a hip pointer or a knee or something. As the official's checking with her to make sure she's okay. She says she is. The ball continues to be in play. Now Bissell. Mcauliffe comes over, strips the ball from her. Mcauliffe with Schwobel coming on. Tries to stop it. Schwobel takes it away. Good little square ball to Conley. Conley with Mcauliffe coming hard. Mcauliffe gets it away and takes the ball nicely. Now Ava Mcauliffe chips the ball forward for Pender Bayshard. Gets past Bayshard. Grace Reynolds is there. She tries to clear it. Bayshard recovers. Bettis is there giving trouble. Harvey central. Brooke Stevens tries to go corner looking for Mcauliffe. Boehm is there, who's done a great job as sweeper tonight. Throw in for Chazy with 30 seconds to go in regulation as Harvey gets the ball. She's going to throw it in. Bettis is there, and now Schwobel. Reynolds clears toward midfield to Gibson. It looks like we're going to overtime. Some extra soccer here in Chazy tonight as Gagno comes and clears it away. And we are headed to overtime. Chazy 0, Boquet Valley 0 in this exciting final regular season game for both squads. And we'll be back with overtime. Yep. All right, we're back here for the first of two potential overtime periods. Used to be 2 guaranteed overtime periods. Now, the rules have changed. We've mentioned it a couple times in the broadcast that it'll be sudden goal, sudden victory, sudden death, however you want to say it, golden goal. First team to score wins. They'll play a 10-minute overtime period. If there's no resolution, they'll switch ends of the field, play 10 more minutes. Nobody wins there. That goes in the books as a tie. In the playoffs and sectionals and states, it'll still go in the book as a tie, but they would go to penalty shots to determine who moves on in the tournament. Ooh, and that was a hard tackle there as Mcauliffe went through Claire Reynolds hard. That's why you wear shin guards, ladies and gentlemen, as Gagno clears that away. It's been a very, very even game. 5 shots on goal for Chazy, 6 shots on goal for Boquet Valley. No real solid chances. Couple good chances for both teams, and just some good Section 7 girls Class D soccer here in Chazy. Abby Schwobel to take the throw in on the far side. She's been outstanding out there today for the Griffins. Brooke Stevens clears it away off the thigh of Schwobel in the middle of the park. Sydney Bissell has it. Georgia Belrose challenging her. Belrose shoves her. It's going to be a direct kick for for Boquet Valley. 36 yards out. Certainly in the ballpark for Schwobel to take a shot on goal.
You got to put it on frame near the crossbar.
as Coach Bueller's telling her take a shot high, and she does. She rips. It's going to be wide. She tried to go near side, but it was well wide. So goal kick for Chazy as Sam Gagnon takes all the goal kicks for the Eagles, as long as she's in the game.
It's not fog we're seeing out there.
No, that is wood smoke, as it's chilly out here, and somebody decided to fire up their wood fire tonight. Mcauliffe gets a shin on it, hustling to save it as Langlois. She's unable to. Throw in for Boquet Valley. It's going to be Sophie Fiegel to take the throw. Fiegel throws it in as Langlois chips it up high. Pender Bayshard's trying to get to it. Sophie Pulsifer's there, and she clears it. Now Scarlett Bame didn't get a good foot on it. Falls to the feet of Brooke Stevens. Stevens looking for Mcauliffe, but Grace Reynolds was there, and the ball goes off the sideline. Throw in for the Eagles. Langlois looking for Pender Bayshard. She's battling there with Fiegel. Bayshard just gives up, and ball goes off the side. So throw in again for the Eagles as Langlois. No movement for her. She throws it into Bayshard, goes over Bayshard's head. Bayshard gets it now, central to Stevens. Stevens trying to get past her mark in Bissell. And good stick there by Pulsifer. Sophie Pulsifer throw in for the Eagles as Langlois trots down to take this throw.
Try to get a corner or service. Don't play it back to Audrey there.
6:55 to go in the first overtime period as Pender Bayshard gets turned. Central tries to get past Fiegel. And another throw in for Chazy. Pender Bayshard again. Fiegel takes it away and she clears it. Trapping it down was Brooke Stevens. Stevens tries to go central with it, but she didn't get her hip around, and the ball's going to go off the end line for a goal kick.
Hey, far post, touch, cross the corner, far post, let's go.
Scarlett Bame will take this goal kick for the Griffins as she goes to the weak side, which is now the strong side, as all everybody moved to that side of the field.
Kelly, press, you're not defending anything up there.
Turek got a block on that. Shot towards goal from Pender Bayshard, and Lobdell makes the save. Good work by Cassidy Turek to get in the way of that goal kick as the ball went to Bayshard and she was able to put a ball in frame. Ball is chipped forward. Sam Gagnon is there. Pressure coming on her from Gibson. Gagnon coolly moves it past her and now clears it forward. Off the belly of Bayshard, outside to Langlois. Langlois chips it back toward Bayshard. Bayshard with Grace Reynolds there. Now it's Brooke Stevens moving it forward. Mcauliffe is lurking, but she couldn't get to it before Lobdell.
Brooke, way to be there, far post next time.
Punt toward midfield. Brooke Stevens traps it down. Harvey couldn't make a good play. Taken away. Now it's Conley moving the ball down the right side. Gagno's over with a left-footed clearance. Bissell traps it down with a thigh, goes out of play. Chazy throw. And we're 5 minutes into this first overtime period. 0-0 is the score. Golden goal. Next goal wins. Caitlin Harvey to take the throw on the far side. Looking for Cassidy Turek. Turek heads the ball toward the middle. As Stevens tries to get to it. Now it's Langlois. She chips it back for Turek. Mcauliffe is running. Mcauliffe gets it on the far side. Turek lets it go. Turek goes to the middle. Mcauliffe battling hard with Jaden Bettis. Mcauliffe and Bettis trying to get free. She looks for a service, top of the 18. Good work by Bettis to not let Mcauliffe get past her. Bissell clears it. Punched back in, and now that was Fiegel who clears it away. Chazy throw right in front of Boquet Valley bench. Georgia Belrose with the throw. Fiegel gets a piece of it, traps it down, clears it toward midfield. Avery Parker. Gibson is there as Gagnon takes it away from Sarah Gibson, and Gagnon pushes it forward. Pender Bayshard traps it down, goes central with it. Cassidy Turek now. Turek Looks for McAuliffe, gets it past McAuliffe. Coming out of her net was Lobdell, and she's able to pick it up before it crosses the side of the 18-yard box, and she runs to the top of the 18 now with 3.5 minutes remaining in the first overtime period. She runs all the way across. Technically, you got 5 seconds when you're a goalkeeper to get rid of the ball. You don't really ever see it called, only in the World Cup one time against Canada. Women's, it was a very controversial call, so definitely don't see it too often. Langlois, good diagonal ball looking for McAuliffe. She couldn't control it. Stevens stepping up. Bettis is there for Boquet Valley. Harvey now chips it to Pender Bayshard, who gets it to McAuliffe. Looking for a shot, blocked nicely by Scarlett Bame. We throw in on the near side. It's going to be Audrey Langlois for Pender Bayshard. Stepping in front was Fiegel. Bayshard gets past her. Bayshard no goes to the touchline. Serves it back across, but it was too close to Lobdell, and she was able to make the easy save on that. 2.5 minutes remaining. Hard work by Claire Reynolds. She winds up hitting it with her hand as she missed the, it wasn't intentional certainly, but she missed the trap and the ball bounced and hit her hand. So direct kick here for Chazy, and Sam Gagno's moving up from her sweeper spot as Ava Mcauliffe looks to serve from here. 2 minutes as McAuliffe lines up for the direct kick. Bounces off Bettis and then cleared away. Lots of white shirts over there. Parker tries to one-time it back in. Now it's going to be Georgia Belrose. She punches it back toward the 18-yard box. Pender Bayshard's running after it. She has to get past Pulsifer. She does. Bayshard serves it. Bettis is there. And now clearing away was Bame. And Schwobel gets it away from Stevens and clears it way to central field. Ball rolls through everybody. And Bame has to come over there and clear it away again. That was pretty odd. Claire Reynolds now looking for transition as Avery Parker steps back. Good defensive work by Avery Parker. Freshman on freshman. Defense versus offense. Conley moves it outside to Reynolds. Reynolds now. Left-footed service to the middle. Stepping up to clear it away was Belrose. Gets past McAuliffe, and Bettis punches it back in.
Go, Sarah! Go, Sarah!
Langlois is there. Chips it forward. Brooke Stevens now traps it down. Brooke Stevens tries to push it forward. Goes off the outside of her foot. McAuliffe saves it. 45 seconds in the first overtime period. McAuliffe, good work. She gets past her player. Now streaking down the side. Grace Reynolds punches it out. Throw in for Chazy. 30 seconds remaining in the first overtime period. As they're looking for a ball on the far side, and they've wasted 10 seconds. And wasted 15 seconds. Clearing it away was Boquet Valley. Callie Castine punches it back in. Bame. Now it's Bettis and cleared away. And we're going to see a second overtime period here in Chazy. Score still knotted at 0-0. And we're back for 10 minutes or less of soccer here in the second overtime period. Chazy versus Boquet Valley at George Brendler Field. 0-0 score. Great Section 7 Class D Northern Soccer League Division II matchup here. People say that a 0-0 soccer game is not exciting, but I'll tell you, I've been plenty excited here today, as you probably could tell with my voice. Good game here on both sides. Really, really well-played game. I've enjoyed every minute of it. Lobdell has the ball now for the Griffins, top of the 18, as she punts the ball toward midfield. Gagno now, long clearing attempt. McAuliffe looks to run onto it. She gets it. She has to get past Bame. Bettis came back to help. McAuliffe sliding. Clears it off. It's going to be a throw-in. And who did they call? Chazy throw-in. So McAuliffe cleared it off the Boquet player. McAuliffe now looking to get turned. Bissell is watching her carefully. Bissell, nice block on the service. Sydney Bissell Parker steps up nicely for Chazy and takes the ball away. Avery Parker now looked to provide a through ball, but it was intercepted and cleared away. Gagnon, clearing attempt, blocked by Claire Reynolds. Now it's Callie Castine. She slips and falls. Reynolds to Schwobel. Schwobel now. Chazy is in trouble. Boquet Valley, Schwobel. Gagnon clears it away on a long dribble by Abby Schwobel. Jaden Bettis now moves it forward. Emma Conley traps it down. Conley turns, gets it to Schwobel. Schwobel's shot. She slips and falls as she shoots. Blocked by Gagnon. Claire Reynolds. Good stick there by Callie Castine. So throw in for the Griffins. It's Claire Reynolds to take the throw. Looking for Schwobel in the corner. Schwobel checks it back. Reynolds serves, top of the 18, goes off from Brooke Stevens. Shot towards goal there by Sydney Bissell. It is just wide of the far post. Good looking shot by Sydney Bissell, one of the seniors here for Boquet Valley, as they've had the best opportunity here in overtime.
Kick it in the middle here. Let's go. Caitlin, deeper. Help us here.
Sam Gagnon to take this goal kick. Stevens tries to turn, moves the ball to midfield, throw in for the Griffins. Sophie Pulsifer hustles over to take the throw. Pulsifer throws it in. Belrose is there for Chazy. She's watching the ball at this point in time. Pressure on her back. She uses her support in Gagnon. Gagnon had the ball punched away on the far side by Schwobel. Goal kick for the Eagles. Just under 7 minutes remaining in the second overtime period. And you can see young lady's breath out there, so we know it's getting cold when that happens. Schwobel has it now. She moves it toward the outside. Left-footed service. Reynolds is there as Blair comes up and makes a big save for Chazy, as Claire Reynolds, leading scorer for the Boquet Valley team, was in a dangerous location, middle of the 18-yard box on that Abby Schwobel service. Bissell gets her foot on it, cleared away there by Parker. Mcauliffe now tries to control it. She was not able to. Grace Reynolds loses the ball to Brooke Stevens, who loses it to Scarlett Bame. Foul on Brooke Stevens as she shoved the opposing player. Direct kick for the Griffins. Schwobel to take the direct kick. 5.5 minutes remaining, so the second overtime is half gone already. It's hard to believe how fast 10 minutes goes. Stevens traps that down. Now Mcauliffe has space. Jaden Betts is watching her. Mcauliffe goes for a long dribble to use her speed, trying to get past Bettis. Mcauliffe cuts it back, looks to serve, goes off from Scarlett Bame. Bame now is going to clear it out of the harm's way, throw in for Chazy. Substitution as Sequoia Mcchesney comes in. It's going to give Cassidy Turek a break. Caitlin Harvey to take the throw in. Looked for Mcauliffe, falling down, and I guess they called it Boquet Valley throw in. And Harvey gets a foot on it, goes central. Sydney Bissell is there. Bissell goes outside. Good through ball to space. Gibson running onto it. Sliding over there was Sam Gagnon, and deflecting it out of play. It's going to be a Griffin throw. Griffin throw, substitution as Sophia Whalen checks back in for the Griffins. 4 minutes to go. Sophie Fiegel runs off for the Griffins. And throw in. Schwobel has it on the far side, taken away by Langlois. McAuliffe now trying to get free. She does. She gets past Pulsifer. McAuliffe. Bissell's tracking her down. McAuliffe cuts it back. And a good service across. She's looking for Pender Bayshard, but it was too close to Lobdell, and who was able to take that ball in easily. 3.5 minutes remaining in the second overtime. Lobdell punts the ball toward midfield. And it's going to be a throw in for Chazy. Substitution. Substitution as Cassidy Turek comes on for Bayshard. And Castine to take the throw for Chazy. Looking for Turek. Turek couldn't keep it in. It's going to be throw in again now for Boquet Valley. Harvey traps it down. Reynolds was there. Cassidy Turek, nice trap to the middle of the park. Turek again chips it, looking for McAuliffe. Clearing it away was Pulsifer. Brooks Stevens couldn't handle that one. Whalen moves it toward Claire Reynolds. Reynolds long dribble, and then a through ball forward, looking for Gibson, but Gagnon clears it away for Chazy. Langlois, nice little move to get past her mark on the far side. Smart play by Grace Reynolds to kick it out. Did not go out. It was saved. Good hustle over there by Sophie Pulsifer. Substitution. Figo comes back in. 2 minutes, 15 seconds remaining. Under 2 minutes now here in the second overtime. No goal means it goes in the book as a tie. Castine tries to control that, but it's taken away by Reynolds. Reynolds takes a shot towards goal weakly, cleared away by Gagnon. Over the head of Turek. Stepping up is Scarlett Bame, and now it's Jaden Bettis forward. Claire Reynolds trying to get turned. She goes central to Schwobel. Schwobel looking to move. Parker stabs at it. Schwobel gets past her. Coming over to help was Castine, and good work there by Belrose to take the ball away and then cleared away by Castine. Now it's Claire Reynolds again looking to get turned. Nice stick there by Brooks Stevens as she clears the ball toward midfield. Bame with a high punch back in. We're at 1 minute to go. Parker tries to control it, taken away by Gibson. Gibson dispossessed there by Gagnon as she clears it. Now it's McAuliffe, tries to chip it past Bame, but back there was Pulsifer. Now it's McAuliffe and Pulsifer battling. Coming back to help is Reynolds. McAuliffe tries to serve it. She wasn't able to get a good foot on it, and she's dejected and frustrated as the defense of Boquet Valley has done a fine job in keeping Ava Mcauliffe at bay. Claire Reynolds tries to trap it. She's unable to. Schwobel watches it go off. 29 seconds remaining. Substitution. It is Boquet Valley's throw, so no sub. 20 seconds remaining. Schwobel gets the ball in. Off the head of Harvey. Avery Parker pushes the ball forward. McAuliffe traps it down. Grace Reynolds was right there in her behind. Claire Reynolds now with less than 10 seconds. And this game, folks, is going to go into the books as a 0-0 tie. Thank you for watching Hometown Cable. Remember, Hometown Cable is 100% viewer supported. That means without your support, Calvin can't come and record these wonderful events in our communities. So please, consider a donation to Hometown Cable. You can find Hometown Cable on YouTube, and you can watch events going back as far, how far, Calvin?
83.
Since 1983. Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Lee Barker. I'm Calvin Castine on the camera. Have a good night.